Hello everyone, this is Darksan and welcome to my channel. This is gonna be my first ever anime review, so bear with me and pardon my English. For today, I'm gonna be reviewing one of my favorite anime of all time, that is Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest. First of all, I'm so very happy that Fairy Tail finally made a comeback. Since after the announcement that the anime is gonna get a sequel, we had no news for almost 2 years and we waited a long time for this. So let's get on with the review. We start the episode with people being literally burned on stakes and having a first glimpse at the first ever guild master of Magia Dragon. Then we cut back to Fairy Tail's guild. We do see 3 new members trying to join Fairy Tail. However, 2 of them do leave Fairy Tail as soon as they join due to losses. I mean, these 2 were looking like fodder character. The little kid, I thought the little kid might have something more to do. He kinda reminded me of Romeo, but it is what it is. Now we get to one of my favorite characters and also new character being introduced, that is Touka. She instantly became one of my favorite characters of the Fairy Tail, even though it's only been few minutes since her debut. Her introduction is very sweet and her character design is very good. She looks lovely and her voice is also very good and her behavior kinda reminds me of Juvia. I wanna see how Lucy reacts to Touka, but I don't think they are ever gonna mate. Nonetheless, excited to see Touka and what her magic abilities will be in the future. I absolutely love this character, and I want to point out one thing about Mira Jane. There seems to be some kind of armband around her. I don't remember seeing this, at least in the first part of the Fairy Tail, but looking at Mira Jane, it feels really good. And then we cut back to the opening, and unironically, this is the first time in the series that we are seeing our main characters Natsu, Grey, Lucy and Erza. The opening looks really good. Right after the opening, we get to see our heroes and we also get to see a little backstory of Natsu and Gildars having a chat regarding the 100 Years Quest. This is essentially a job quest that Gildars failed to do so, meaning that this quest is gonna be considerably difficult, seeing how Gildars is stronger than Natsu, at least when he was introduced in Fairy Tail. So moving back to the present, our heroes get to the guild and find out that it is deserted and there are no human beings in the vicinity, and they are soon greeted by a dragon. However, we all know about Natsu's nose. I think it's mostly his nose that he found out that is not actually a dragon, rather than it is a person impersonating a dragon, and we get to see the human form of the dragon, that is the first guild master of Magia Dragon, the first ever guild created. Talking about the first guild master, we also get some information that he taught himself Dragon Slayer magic in order to defeat the few dragons. It is interesting to know that you can learn Dragon Slayer magic even if a dragon didn't teach you. We also know that there are second generation Dragon Slayer who has Dragon Slayer magic lacrima in them, for example Loxus, but this guild master seems to be very different and very powerful. I am interested to see him fight in the coming episodes. Hopefully we get to see him after turning into human form. There is a funny scene. We do get a funny scene where the guild master shrinks himself and gets into Lucy's chest. Natsu immediately puts his hand into like her whole elbow was inside her chest. That was very funny to see. It was incredible. Fairy Tail has some insane fan service. People who watched Fairy Tail Christmas OVA, they know what I'm talking about. After that, we immediately cut back to the Fairy Tail. New character Touka is having a conversation with Juvia. I think they are both very similar. Touka, the name kind of reminds me of Touka from Tokyo Ghoul. Maybe that's why I like her so much. Nonetheless, mentions a character named Brian. Realistically, I don't even remember. I am more of a Brandish person. She left more impression on me. I had to go back to know about her. I mean, she was a nobody and she was taken out by Juvia and Grey in the last season, but nonetheless, due to Touka mentioning her name, it seems like Gajil has some suspicions against her. Also in the midst, we do have a background story of Lucy and Virgo talking. It's been so long since we saw Virgo. I feel so good. She looks very nice, and she also mentions that about a reunion that might occur. I think she's talking about Aquarius. Going back to the guild master informs our team that earlier quest is actually slaying by dragon gods. Every single one of them is supposed to be as strong as Acnologia. Now talking about Acnologia, I do want to say that that fight was done dirty. I like the fight, but could have been better. It should have been better. I believe we should have gotten a one-on-one Natsu versus Acnologia towards the end after he takes care of the other dragon slayers. The Natsu got a power boost from all the other dragon slayers and got a rainbow type of aura around him. We should have gotten at least 5 minutes of just Natsu and Acnologia throwing hands, but it is what it is. Natsu and his friends begin their journey to Port Ermina. While on their journey, they do see some kind of little jelly persons walking their way. They suddenly try to enter their mouth. I mean, these are canon fodder characters, and we do get to see at least one dragon roar from Wendy. I think Wendy is out of place. Why is Wendy even here? I think Juvia and Gaje are much stronger than her, but it is what it is. We do get to see a dragon roar from her. And actually, Natsu ate one of the jelly beans. I don't know if we will get back to this or he will get any power boost from eating this jelly person, but it's Natsu. He ate a lacrima while fighting Jalal and he was good. So yeah, and I also want to indicate that in this scene it seems that Lucy has a different outfit compared to what she was wearing in the first half. I don't know where she changed this outfit, or were there any rooms available in the first guild, Magia Dragon anyway, or she changed it on the road or on the way to Ermina Port or anything. But I just want to point out that it seems out of place. Moving on, we do cut back to Gajiel and his suspicions against Touka, one of the best characters in Fairy Tail, even though she was literally introduced. We do see Gajiel in a detective way. I mean, Detective Conan still looks better, but it is what it is. They are trying to tail behind Touka and find out if she has any secrets. I think this is just a comedy part. There's nothing to stress about it. I mean, Touka's the best girl, right? There's nothing wrong with her. Her beauty is sublime. We cut back to Natsu and his friends arriving in an old city. The building seems to be full of moss for some reason, and we do get a first glimpse at the dragon mug phobia. I think this is the dragon mug phobia since the girl with him called him Sujin Sama. Sujin Sama is essentially what we call a water god. Since the guildmaster mentioned that mug phobia is revered as a god in this region, it is highly likely that this blue looking dude here with the horns, this blue looking dude with the horns is obviously and most likely the dragon god mug phobia, one of the dragons that Natsu and his team needs to defeat. I have to say this character in his human form looks very good. His design seems to be similar, very similar to Jalal. The horns are extra and the hair color is a bit lighter than the actual Jalal. I think Jalal has a bit of a more dark blue color, but nonetheless this episode was very interesting. We got loads of new information about the quest that is gonna be a Dragon Slayer quest, and most importantly a new character, a simp character. Touka, we finally have someone simping for Natsu Dragneel. It was funny to see. I mean, that is one of the main reasons I like Touka. We both simp for Natsu Dragneel. So yeah, this episode was very good. I have to say that Erza looks a bit shorter or younger compared to Lucy, even though she is older than any of the Fairy Tail team. For a rating purposes, I will rate this episode a solid 9 out of 10. This episode was very interesting, even though it did not have a fight scene. We got loads of new information and it was very fun. There was not a single minute in Fairy Tail episode 1 that felt boring to me or slow paced. The animation kind of seems similar to Eden Zero, considering it is the same studio it is doing, and both of them belong to Hiro Mashima. But I am liking it so far. We haven't gotten to any fight scene as of now, so it is very early to judge this anime. I hope they extend fight scene whenever we do get them, and I am excited to watch the next Fairy Tail episode. How do you feel about the fairy tale episode? Did you like it? Were there any things you didn't like it? For example, the character design or the change in animation style? I think it was good. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below, and thank you very much. Goodbye. See you in the next episode.